Okay, should be live now.
It says live in like 4 minutes, 40 seconds. Like it's waiting kind of thing.
It's live on my side.
Oh, yeah, sorry, now it is.
Okie dokie. So, Katie, do you want to read Ecclesiastes 3?
Yes. Okay. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rend and a time to sue, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. What profit has he that worketh in that wherein he laboreth? I have seen the travail which Jehovah has given to the sons of men to be exercised in it. He has made everything beautiful in his time. Also, he has set the world in their heart so that no man can find out the work that God maketh from the beginning to the end. I know that there is no good in them but for a man to rejoice and to do good in his life, and also that every man should eat and drink and enjoy the good of all his labor. It is the gift of Jehovah. I know that whatsoever Jehovah doeth, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, nor anything taken from it. And Jehovah doeth it that men should fear before him. That which has been is now, and that which is to be has already been. And Jehovah requireth that which is past. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. I said in my heart, Jehovah shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time there for every purpose and for every work. I said in my heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that Jehovah might manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts. For that which befalleth the sons of men befalleth beast. Even one thing befalleth them. As the one dieth, so dieth the other. Yeah, they all have one breath, so that a man has no preeminence above a beast, for all is vanity. All go unto one place, all are of the dust, and all turn to dust again. Who knoweth the spirit of man that goeth upward, and the spirit of the beast that goeth downward to the earth? Wherefore I perceive that there is nothing better than that a man should rejoice in his own works, for that is his portion. For who shall bring him to see what shall be after him?
Haley said Ecclesiastes 3:5, maybe it's a Key of David reference. Yeah. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. Yeah, actually, that does sound like it. Good find. And for that is his portion, for who shall bring him to see what shall be after him. Wherefore I perceive that there is nothing better than a man should rejoice in his own works, for that is his portion. Right? Rejoicing in the people that you wake up and the seeds that you plant. Okay, chapter 4. I'll read it. So I turned and considered all the oppressions that are done under the sun, and behold, the tears of such as were oppressed, and they had no comforter. And on the side of their oppressors there was power, but they had no comforter. Wherefore I praised the dead, which are already dead, more than the living, which are yet alive. Yea, better is he than both they, which hath not yet been, who hath not seen the evil work that is done under the sun. Again, I considered all travail and every right work, that for this a man is envied of his neighbor. This is also vanity and vexation of spirit. Oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna highlight that. My e-sword. The fool foldeth his hands together and eateth his own flesh. Better is a handful with quietness than both the hands full with travail and vexation of spirit. Then I returned, and I saw vanity under the sun. There is one alone, there is not a second. Yea, he hath neither child nor brother, yet there is no end of all his labor. Neither is his eye satisfied with riches. Neither saith he, for whom do I labor, and bereave my soul of good? There is also vanity, yet it is a sore travail. Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up. Again, if two lie together, then can they have heat? But how can one be warm alone? And if one prevail against him, two shall withstand him, and a threefold cord is not quickly broken. Better is a poor and wise child than an old and foolish king, who will no more be admonished. For out of prison he cometh to reign, whereas also he that is born in his kingdom becometh poor. I considered all the living which walk under the sun, but the second child that shall stand up in his stead. There is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. They also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this is also vanity and vexation of spirit. I think that one verse, wherefore I praise the dead which are already dead, more than the living which are yet alive. It's an interesting one. Hmm. And then the ones about, having two people together is better than having one. Because if one falls, you can lift up the other. But if you're alone, woe unto you. Yeah, that's interesting. That's why it's so important, I guess, to go out in twos or to have two people. You don't want to fall.
Sis, in verse 1, where it's talking about the oppressed, like there's power on that side, but there's no comforter. It sounds like, like the Antichrist spirit, like, Satan has power. All these Christians, how do I word it? I don't know what I was trying to say, but like it just sounds like the Antichrist kind of thing,
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
yeah, like the pagan stuff.
Yeah. And they have no comforter, like they don't have the Holy Spirit of truth. Like they're seeing maybe the signs and wonders, but it's not, the true spirit. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also interesting that he says that they praise the dead, which are dead more than the living, which are yet alive. Like, that's what the pagan people do, isn't it? Like, give all their, like, to dead people and stuff, you know? Yeah, that's
Kind of.
exactly what it's talking about. Oh, go ahead, Katrina.
Oh, so are you talking about like in the Mexican culture in the
Yeah.
Mexican, like the Cinco de, not the Cinco, but the Day of the Dead, is
Yeah, where
things
they
like
all
that.
like, yeah, exactly. My stepmom does that crap. Yeah. At least that's what it sounds like to me. I don't know.
I have a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead, Haley.
So, with the cross connections, it had Job 3:17-21.
Okay, go ahead.
But and there they will be at rest. Their prisoners rest together, they hear not the voice of the oppressor. The small and great are there, and the servant is free from his master. Wherefore is light given to him that is in misery, and life unto the bitter soul, which long for death, but it cometh not, and dig for it more than the hid treasures. So if you compare that, could that be like how the people like want a stone to fall on them or the mountains, but they won't? Like they just, because it says they don't have a comforter, so they're so miserable and they wish they were dead, but they aren't.
Oh. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because those are the people that will be going into the Great Tribulation, right? The Christians who don't have the Holy Spirit but proclaim that they do. And then, yeah, those people, they're going to go into the rocks and the cliffs of the rocks and beg for death. Maybe that's why that says that also in verse 2. Hmm. Yeah, that was a good connection. Haley, do you want to read chapter 5? Are you free? Can you read it?
Yeah, I can read.
Thank you.
All right, chapter 5. Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of God, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. Be not rash with thy mouth, and neither let thine heart be hasty to utter anything before God. For God is in heaven, and thou upon earth. Therefore let thy words be few. For a dream cometh through the multitude of business, and a fool's voice is known by the multitude of words. When thou vowest a vow unto God, defer not to pay it, for he hath no pleasure in fools. Pay that which thou hast vowed. Better is it that thou shouldest not vow than thou shouldest vow and not pay. Suffer not thy mouth to cause thy flesh to sin, neither say thou before the angel that it was an error. Wherefore should God be angry at thy voice, and destroy the work of thine hands? For in the multitude of dreams and many words there are also diverse vanities. But fear thou God. If thou seest the oppression of the poor, and violent perverting of judgment and justice in a province, marvel not at the matter. For he that is higher than the highest regardeth, and there be higher than they. Moreover, the profit of the earth is for all. The king himself is served by the field. He that loveth silver should not be satisfied with silver, nor he that loveth abundance with increase. This is also vanity. When goods increase, they are increased that eat them. And what good is there to the owners thereof, saving the beholding of them with their eyes? The sleep of a laboring man is sweet, whether he eat a little or much, but the abundance of the rich will not suffer him to sleep. There is a sore evil which I have seen under the sun, namely riches kept for the owners thereof to their hurt. But those riches perish by evil travail, and he begetteth a son, and there is nothing in his hand. As he came forth of his mother's womb, naked shall he return to go as he came, and shall take nothing of his labor which he may carry away in his hand. And this also is a sore evil, that in all points as he came, so shall he go. What profit hath he that hath labored for the wind? All his days also he eateth in darkness, and he hath much sorrow and wrath with his sickness. Behold that which I have seen, it is good and comely for one to eat and to drink and to enjoy the good of all of his labor that he taketh under the sun all the days of his life, which God giveth him, for it is his portion. Every man also to whom God hath given riches and wealth, and hath given him power to eat thereof, and to take his portion, and to rejoice in his labor. This is the gift of God. For he shall not much remember the days of his life, because God answereth him in the joy of his heart.
Yeah, it seems like, they're talking about like the meat and due season, right? Like Matthew 25, kind of like, if you don't give your goods away, then they'll be taken in evil travail. Kind of like, because they fall and become evil servants. But it's good if we, um, you know, give what we're given and to take our portion of the field that we've plowed. Verse 20 is interesting, for he shall not much remember the day of his life, because Jehovah answereth him in the joy of his heart. Maybe it's talking about we won't remember all the crap we've been through, we'll just remember the good, maybe, because we'll be in heaven, I don't know. Sorry guys, this is going to be a pretty lame space. Not lame, because it's good to read the Bible, but um yeah, this is pretty much going to be it for the space today.
Would verse 8 kind of go with like judge the cause of the like widow and fatherless? Because it says the oppression of the poor and like
Yeah.
perverting of judgment and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And then like a little bit further down of like not storing up earthly treasures and stuff.
Yep. Yeah, but store up heavenly treasures, the fruit of the field. Does someone want to read chapter 6?
I can read.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Okay. Chapter 6. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, and it is common among men. A man to whom Jehovah hath given riches, wealth, and honour, so that he wanteth nothing for his soul of all that he desireth. Yet Jehovah giveth him not power to eat thereof, but a stranger eateth it. This is vanity and is an evil disease. If a man begat 100 children and live many years, so that the days of his years be many, and his soul be not filled with good, and also that he have no burial, I say that an untimely birth is better than he. For he cometh in with vanity, and departeth in darkness, and his name shall be covered with darkness. Moreover, he hath not seen the sun, nor known anything. This hath more rest than the other. Yea, though he live 1,000 years, twice told, hath he seen no good. Do not all go to one place? All the labor of man is for his mouth, and yet the appetite is not filled. For what hath the wise more than the fool? What hath the poor that knoweth to walk before the living? Better is the sight of the eyes than the wandering of the desire. This is also vanity and vexation of spirit. That which hath been is named already, and it is known that it is man. Neither may he contend with him that is mightier than he. Seeing there be many things that increase vanity, what is man the better? For who knoweth what is good for man in this life, all the days of his vain life, which he spendeth as a shadow? For who can tell a man what shall be after him under the sun?
Yeah, this is interesting. When it talks about where did it go? The labor of a man is to fill his mouth, yet their appetite is never filled. For what hath the wise man? Better is the sight of the eyes than the wandering. Yeah. Okay. Does someone want to read chapter 7?
I can grab it if nobody else wants to.
Thank you, sis.
Chapter 7. A good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of one's birth. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. For that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by thy sadness of the countenance the heart is made better. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. For it is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools. For as the crackling of thorns under a pot, so is the laughter of the fool. This also is vanity. Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosom of fools. Say not thou, what is the cause that the former days were better than these? For thou dost not inquire wisely concerning this. Wisdom is good with an inheritance, and by it there is profit to them that see the sun. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense, but the excellency of knowledge is, that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. Consider the work of God, for who can make that straight which he hath made crooked? In the day of prosperity be joyful, but in the day of adversity consider. God also hath set the one over against the other, to end that man should find nothing after him. All things have I seen in the days of my vanity. There is a just man that perisheth in his righteousness, and there is a wicked man that prolongeth his life in his wickedness. Would that be like not dying the second death right there?
Yeah, I think you're right actually about that.
Okay, cool. Be not righteous over much. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No. Yeah. Sorry. I wasn't expecting the question, so I was just trying to reread it and think. But yeah, I think you're right about that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself? Be not over much wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why shouldest thou die before thy time? It is good that thou shouldest take hold of this. Yea, also from this withdraw not thine hand, for he that feareth God shall come forth of them all. Wisdom strengtheneth the wise more than 10 mighty men which are in the city. For there is not a just man upon earth that doeth good and sinneth not. Also take no heed unto all all words that are spoken, lest thou hear thy servant curse thee. For oftentimes also thine own heart knoweth that thou thyself likewise hast cursed others. All this have I provoked by wisdom. Proved. All this have I proved by wisdom. I said, I will be wise, but it was far from me. That which is far off and exceeding deep, who can find it out? I applied mine heart to know and to search and to seek out wisdom and the reason of things, to know the wickedness of folly, even of foolishness and madness. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth God shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Behold, this have I found, saith the preacher, counting one by one, to find out the account, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have I not found. Lo, this only have I found, that God hath made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions.
Thank you, sis. Do you have anything you want to say about it? About this chapter? Anything you see interesting? I mean, the second death thing, yeah, but anything else?
Let's see. I feel like I did see something when I was reading, but I didn't.
Yeah, I know you were reading it, and I was like, oh man, that's talking about the feasts. That's talking about this. And then I get to the end, and I'm just like, I don't know what to say.
26 almost reminds me of like Jezebel, and those who don't repent will be thrown into her bed of suffering, or however that's quoted, if they don't repent.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And the first few verses are about the feasts stuff.
Mhm. I think it's sad out of all those men, there's not a woman found.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Really important. Why we gotta do those heart checks.
Yep, exactly. Women are just more evil, and it sucks to say, but it's true. They're craftier. Um, they have more wicked intention in their heart. I feel like, men are just very simple, pretty much, But women, they're emotional and they're crafty and, you know, they'll do whatever they can to get what they want. Come on, I want to read chapter 8.
I can read it.
Okay.
Who is as the wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed. I counsel thee to keep the king's commandment, and that in the regard of the oath of Jehovah. Be not hasty to go out of his sight. Stand not in an evil thing, for he doeth whatsoever pleaseth him. Where the word of a king is, there is power. And who may say unto him, What doest thou? Whoso keepeth the commandment shall feel no evil thing. And a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment, because to every purpose there is a time and a judgment. Therefore, the misery of a man is great upon him, for he knoweth not that which shall be, for who can tell him when it shall be? There is no man that hath power over the spirit to retain the spirit, neither hath he power in the day of death. And there is no discharge in that war, neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to it. All this I have seen and applied my heart unto every work that is done under the sun. There is a time wherein one man ruleth over another to his own hurt. And so I saw the wicked buried, who had come and gone from the place of the holy, and they were forgotten in the city where they had done so. This is also vanity, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be when well with them that fear Jehovah, which fear before him. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as the shadow, because he feareth not before Jehovah. There is vanity which is done upon the earth, there be just men unto whom it happeneth according to the work of the wicked again. There will be wicked men to whom it happeneth according to the work of the righteous. I said that this is also vanity. Then I commanded mirth, because a man hath no better thing under the sun than to eat and to drink and to be merry, for that shall abide with him his labor the days of his life, which Jehovah giveth him under the sun. When I applied mine heart to know wisdom, and to see the business that is done upon the earth, for also there is that neither day nor night seeth sleep with his eyes. Then I beheld all the work of Jehovah, that a man cannot find out of the work that is done under the sun, because though a man labor to seek it out, yet he shall not find it. Yea, farther, though a wise man think to know it, yet yet he shall yet shall he not be able to find it.
Yeah, thanks. Verse 12 and 13. Interesting. Okay, chapter 9. Does someone want to read it?
Place
Oh,
9.
yeah, Haley, that makes sense. Whoso keeps the commandment shall feel no evil thing, and a wise man heart discerneth both time and judgment. Oh, wow, yeah, that's a good point out.
I was also thinking that because then it said, what verse was it? Was it that one? Yeah. A wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment. That was interesting. I also thought about that.
Yeah.
I can do 9.
Yeah, okay, sis.
For all this I considered in my heart, even to declare all this, that the righteous and the wise and their works are in the hand of God. No man knows either love or hatred by all that is before them. All things come alike to all. There is one event to the righteous and to the wicked, to the good and to the clean, and to the unclean. To him that sacrifices and to him that sacrifices not, as is the good, so is the sinner. And he that swears, as he that fears an oath. This is an evil among all things that are done under the sun, that there is one event unto all, yea, also the heart of the sons of men is full of evil. The madness is in their heart while they live, and after they go to the dead. And after that they go to the dead. For to him that is joined to all the living there is hope. For a living dog is better than a dead lion. For the living know that they shall die, but the dead know not anything, neither have they any more a reward, for the memory of them is forgotten. Also their love and their hatred and their envy is now perished. Neither have they any more a portion forever in anything that is done under the sun. Go thy way, eat thy bread with joy, and drink thy wine with a merry heart. For God now accepts thy works. Let thy garments be always white, and let thy head lack no ointment. Live joyfully with the wife, whom you love, all the days of the life of thy vanity, which he has given thee under the sun, all the days of thy vanity. For that is thy portion in this life, and in thy labor which thou takes under the sun. Whatsoever thy hand finds to do, do it with thy might. For there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave, whither you go. I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor to the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happens to them all. For man also knows not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, as the birds that are caught in the snare. So are the sons of men snared in an evil time, when it falls suddenly upon them. This wisdom have I seen also under the sun, and it seemed great unto me. There was a little city, and a few men within it. And there came a great king against it, and besieged it, and built great bulwarks against it. Now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city. Yet no man remembered that same poor man. Then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. The words of wise, the words of a wise, the words of wise men are heard in quiet more than the cry of him that rules among fools. Wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinner destroys much good.
Thanks, sis. Yeah, some of this stuff goes right over my head, but some of it I'm like, wow, that's insane. I think it'll be cool. We can just ask Yeshua all of our questions.
I could read the next one if you like.
Oh, yeah, thanks, sis.
Hmm. Dead flies cause the ointment of the apothecary to send forth a stinking savour. So doth a little folly him that is in reputation for wisdom and honour. A wise man's heart is at his right hand, but a fool's heart at his left. Yea, also, when he that is a fool walketh by the way, his wisdom faileth him, and he saith to every one that he is a fool. If the spirit of the ruler rise up against thee, leave not thy place, for yielding pacifieth great offences. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, as an error which proceedeth from the ruler. Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place. I have seen servants upon horses, and princes walking as servants upon the earth. He that diggeth a pit shall fall into it, and whoso breaketh a hedge, a serpent shall bite him. Whoso removeth stones shall be hurt therewith, and he that cleaveth wood shall be endangered thereby. If the iron be blunt, he do not whet the edge. Then must he put to more strength, but wisdom is profitable to direct. Surely the serpent will bite without enchantment, and a babbler is no better. The words of a wise man's mouth are gracious, but the lips of a fool will swallow up himself. The beginning of the words of his mouth is foolishness, and the end of his talk is mischievous madness. A fool also is full of words. A man cannot tell what shall be, and what shall be after him. Who can tell him? The labour of the foolish wearieth every one of them, because he knoweth not how to go to the city. Woe to thee, O land, when thy king is a child, and thy princes eat in the morning. Blessed art thou, O land, when thy king is the son of nobles, and thy princes eat in due season, for strength and not for drunkenness. By much slothfulness the building decayeth, and through idleness of the hands the house droppeth through. A feast is made for laughter, and wine maketh merry, but money answereth all things. Curse not the king, no, not in thy thought, and curse not the rich in thy bedchamber. For a bird of the air shall carry the voice, and that which hath wings shall tell the matter. Oh.
Hmm. Interesting. Sorry, guys, I just don't really have much to say today, but this is interesting. I think after we finish up this book, I might actually just end it a little bit early today. Does someone want to read chapter 11?
I'll read it.
Thank you, Katrina.
Chapter 11. Cast thy bread upon the waters, for thou shalt find it after many days. Give a portion to 7 and also to 8, for thou knowest not what evil shall be upon the earth. If the clouds be full of rain, they empty themselves upon the earth. And if the tree fall toward the south or toward the north, in the place where the tree falleth, there it shall be. He that observeth the wind shall not sow, and he that regardeth the clouds shall not reap. As thou knowest not what is the way of the spirit, nor how the bones do grow in the womb of her that is with child, even so thou knowest not the works of God who maketh all. In the morning sow thy seed, and in the evening withhold not thine hand, for thou knowest not whether shall prosper, either this or that, or whether they both shall be alike good. Truly the light is sweet, and a pleasant thing it is for the eyes to behold the sun. For if a man live many years and rejoiceth in them all, yet let him remember the days of darkness, for they shall be many. All that cometh in vanity. Is that last verse whenever Mark says, remember, like remember what you've done and don't forget it, or no?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like, don't ever remember, don't forget what you've done, because we've disobeyed the Father. So I didn't know if that was,
Yeah. Like, don't forget what you look like in the mirror type.
yeah.
Okay.
Rejoice, O young man, in thy youth, and let thy heart cheer thee in the days of thy youth, and walk in the ways of thine heart, and in the sight of thine eyes. But know thou that for all these things God will bring thee into judgment. Therefore remove sorrow from thy heart, and put away evil from thy flesh, for childhood and youth are vanity.
Mm. Someone want to finish up chapter 12?
I can do it. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them, while the sun or the light, or the moon, or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. And the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that looked out of the windows be darkened. And the doors, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Also, when they shall be afraid of that which is high, and fear shall be in the way, and the almond tree shall flourish, and the grasshopper shall be a burden, and desire shall fail, because man goeth to his long home, and the mourners go about the streets. Or ever the silver cord be loosed, or the golden bowl be broken, or the pitcher be broken at the fountain, or the wheel broken at the cistern. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto Jehovah who gave it. Vanity of vanities, saith the preacher, all is vanity. And moreover, because the preacher was wise, he still taught the people knowledge. Yea, he gave good heed, and sought out and set in order many proverbs. The preacher sought to find out acceptable words, that which was written was upright, even words of truth. The words of the wise are as golds. What is a goad?
Good question. I don't know.
And as nails fastened by masters of assemblies, which were given from one shepherd. And further, by these, my son, be admonished of making many books. There is no end, and much study is a weariness of the flesh. Let us hear the whole conclusion of the whole matter. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Jehovah and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For Jehovah shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Praise Yah.
And isn't it funny how they say we don't have a works-based salvation? But this is literally telling you that every work will be brought into account. Oh man. Yeah, guys, sorry, today's space kind of sucked. Um,
Hey, Kyan, I'm sorry to interrupt.
no, you
This
go ahead.
space was actually good for me because some of the verses in there where people talk about being a lone wolf and whatnot, it just simply showed you in those chapters a couple back where it's like you need somebody there to rebuke you and to help you. Like you can't be alone. You have to be with somebody. So that was great. I'm so glad we read this.
Well, praise God, sis. That makes me feel better.
Also, I kind of have a question.
Yeah,
For
okay.
chapter 12, verse 12, when it
Mhm.
says, And further by these my son be admonished of making many books, there is no end, and much study is a weariness of the flesh. Is that like the same thing, like when there's scriptures of like that tell you like don't look into like all the genealogies or like trying to figure, everything out?
Yeah, and I think it also has stuff to do with like the depths of Satan, and all these philosophers, they're reading all these, philosophy books about life, like people read like, I don't know, Jordan Peterson and Mel Robbins and um, all these people who we would think wise in the world, right? But it's just a weariness of the flesh. Like it profits nothing because it's not profiting your salvation. All these self-help books that these people come up with um, and stuff about like, oh, I'm a badass at making money and, all these vain things that people want to get really good at. Dang, sorry, I feel like I'm losing my voice. I sound like a freaking rasp. But Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like that's what it's kind of talking about.
Yeah, I got you. I was kind of thinking the same thing, but just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. Um, if nobody else has anything else to add, I might just go ahead and end it early and try to rest. Because Brittany is busy and driving, and Sammy's busy, so there's really, it's not really flowing today, which is fine. Some days are like that, but I really can't be doing all the talking. Sorry, guys. I will. Oh, and don't forget the women's thing tomorrow. Oh man, I'll try to wake up early. At least do like an hour phone call about how the Genesis study is going and everything. And don't forget to read or don't forget to read Genesis. And then once we get into like the other books, it'll start getting good. But I don't know, reading the Torah and reading the law is always a good refresher and stuff. Um, but yeah, guys, sorry about today. Sorry today didn't flow very well. But I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay?